financial impossibility, a job that couldn't be left, a family or kids or sick parents under their care, or a combination of all of these things. Wrapped, I parked my car and plugged in my headphones so I could finish the podcast while I was inside the store. As I finally threw the num-nums into my shopping cart, Gilbert was talking about the archetypal hero's journey and how throughout the history of literature, the hero's journey has been represented as specifically a man's journey to a faraway place. There, he conquers or fights some person or army or thing, and in doing so, saves us all. While this quintessential hero is running about, his wife/mother/sister/girlfriend/daughter/all of the above stays home, very much not on a hero's journey. She cooks or cleans or weeps or Pinterests while he is out and about, slaying and defending and generally being courageous. Though I was familiar with this trope, you're familiar with it too if you've ever seen literally any Hollywood movie, Star Wars, for example. I hadn't heard of the book Gilbert referenced at length, Joseph Campbell's The Hero with a Thousand Faces, in which he distills the 17 universally traversed steps of this tale as it's been told forever by cultures around the world. I realize as a writer I probably should have read or at least known about Campbell's book, but there are so many episodes of The Bachelor to watch that I'm not sure where I would have ever found the time. Truly overwhelming. As I waited on the checkout line, staring blankly at the displays of Altoids and magazines and realizing simultaneously that it was 4:23 p.m. and that nothing about my life felt familiar anymore, Gilbert started talking about how we need to reconceive our vision of the hero's journey. The hero's journey is not the exclusive territory of men, she said, and it does not have to involve faraway lands. I paused the podcast as I swiped my card to pay for the num-nums. Even after I loaded my recyclable bags, good person, into the back of my car and began the drive home, that concept and those words, hero's journey, kept echoing inside me. Some lonely, estranged part of my old self, some thirsty little leaf, leaned toward the idea, wanting to know more. I find it harder and harder to read an entire book, dealing with a kid, The Bachelor, so very busy, but I can peruse the shit out of a long Wikipedia entry. So I Googled Joseph Campbell Hero's Journey and started reading. Campbell's conception of the journey begins with a potential hero who is just going about his life as normal, texting and taking antidepressants or whatever. He receives a, quote, call to adventure, to a place that Campbell describes as a forest, a kingdom underground, beneath the waves or above the sky, a secret island, lofty mountaintop, or profound dream state. But it is always a place of strangely fluid and polymorphous beings, unimaginable torments, superhuman deeds, and impossible delight. Reading this sentence gave me the same adrenaline-filled feeling you get when you are almost certain, but not yet positive, that you're feeling an earthquake. You freeze and your whole body listens. In this moment of silent anticipation, for the first time since my son was born, having spent each day since feeling invisible to the mainstream world, over the hill like a Swiffer on legs, wiping his nose with my hand and not having sex and generally functioning as a kind of automated milk and comfort dispensing machine, I began to entertain a thought. Is it possible I've been on a hero's journey this whole time? Is it possible I am on one right now? What shook me about Campbell's words is how perfectly they describe motherhood. To begin with, a profound dream state. The first 3 months after my son was born, for sure, were nothing less than a never-ending somnambulance. And even though I was not on a secret island or a lofty mountaintop, once I became a mom, I felt in my bones that deep sense of distance and isolation, of being far away from everyone else, stranded with my new, strangely fluid and polymorphous being, i.e. my baby. If you've ever had a quality hang with a baby or very small child, you know a baby is as polymorphous as it fucking gets. Infants are, from 1 minute to the next, by turns, otters, mermen, humans, wombats, and puppies. I don't think I even have to justify how unimaginable torment applies to child rearing. But if you've ever had to physically wrestle your child into or out of a stroller, or if they've ever refused to go to sleep when you feel like you've literally passed away about 2 hours ago, you know what I'm talking about.